When you think of Hollywood transformations, you probably picture dramatic weight changes or intense muscle-building regimens, but some of the most shocking body changes have come from black celebrities who completely reinvented themselves in ways nobody saw coming. From rappers who dropped enough weight to be unrecognizable to singers who built muscle that rivaled professional athletes, these transformations weren't just about looking different, they were about health battles, personal demons, and life-changing decisions that fans never knew were happening behind the scenes. Here are 15 surprising body transformations from black celebrities that left everyone doing a double take. 50 Cent's shocking cancer patient transformation. When photos surfaced of rapper 50 Cent looking skeletal and frail in 2010, many people thought they were fake or edited. The transformation was so extreme that some fans believed it was a hoax. Curtis Jackson, better known as 50 Cent, had dropped from 214 pounds to just 160 pounds in only 9 weeks for his role in the film All Things Fall Apart. To achieve this drastic change, he followed a liquid-only diet and spent 3 hours a day on a treadmill. The film tells the story of a college football player diagnosed with cancer, a role that was deeply personal to 50 Cent as it was based on a childhood friend who died from the disease. What made this transformation even more challenging was that 50 Cent had experience with liquid diets before. After being shot in the jaw in 2000, he could only consume liquids and his weight dropped to 157 pounds, but he later revealed that losing the weight intentionally was actually tougher than when it happened due to his injury. He researched how actors like Christian Bale, Tom Hanks, and Robert De Niro had handled similar transformations, studying their interviews to prepare himself mentally for the grueling process. The physical change was so shocking that it sparked conversations about how far actors should go for their craft, especially since the film itself didn't receive wide theatrical release despite his dramatic commitment to the role. Jennifer Hudson's 80-pound journey to health. Jennifer Hudson's transformation from a size 16 to a size 6 shocked the entertainment world, not just because of the dramatic 80-pound weight loss, but because of how she achieved it. The Oscar-winning actress and singer revealed that her transformation wasn't built on hours in the gym like many people assumed. Instead, she credited careful attention to her diet and eating habits as the primary driver of her success. In a 2017 interview, Hudson explained that she simply didn't have time for extensive workout routines, so she focused on being very careful and cautious about what she ate, pacing her meals throughout the day. This approach challenged the common narrative that weight loss requires grueling exercise regimens. Hudson's method centered on portion control and making smarter food choices rather than restriction or deprivation. Her transformation began after the birth of her son, when she decided to prioritize her health for her family. The singer has been open about maintaining her weight loss over many years, proving that her approach was sustainable rather than a quick fix. What made Hudson's journey particularly inspiring was her emphasis on health over appearance. She wasn't chasing a Hollywood ideal, but rather creating a lifestyle that made her feel stronger and more energetic. Her success helped popularize the idea that diet plays a more crucial role than exercise in weight loss, a concept that continues to influence how people approach their own health journeys. Oprah's decades-long public battle. Oprah Winfrey's weight has been scrutinized publicly for over 25 years, making her transformation journey one of the most documented in celebrity history. Her struggle played out on television screens across America, with millions watching as she experimented with various methods to find what worked for her body. In 1988, she famously lost 67 pounds on a liquid diet, even wheeling out a wagon of fat on her talk show to represent the weight she had lost. But the victory was short-lived. Once she returned to eating solid food without incorporating exercise, the weight came back. This cycle of losing and regaining weight became a recurring theme in her life, one that she discussed openly with her audience. For years, Oprah felt ashamed each time the weight returned, as if she had failed herself and the people watching her journey. But her perspective shifted dramatically when weight loss medications became available. She began using medication as what she calls a maintenance tool, combined with regular exercise and a healthy diet. Oprah described the availability of medically approved weight management prescriptions as feeling like relief, like redemption, like a gift rather than something to hide. Her willingness to discuss using medication helped reduce stigma around pharmaceutical assistance for weight loss. Today, she maintains her shape through a combination of approaches, refusing to be ashamed of using every tool available to support her health. Her journey demonstrates that weight management isn't a simple equation of willpower versus weakness. It's a complex interplay of biology, psychology, and available resources. Michael B. Jordan's superhero sculpture. Michael B. Jordan's physical transformation for his roles in Creed and Black Panther set a new standard for what dedication to a role looks like. The actor trained twice a day, 6 days a week, combining boxing training with intense weightlifting and conditioning work. For Creed, he needed to convincingly portray a professional boxer, which meant building not just muscle, but also the cardiovascular endurance and movement patterns of a fighter. His training regimen was so intense that it changed his entire relationship with his body and what he thought was possible. Jordan worked with trainers who designed programs specifically to build the kind of physique that would look authentic on screen, lean, powerful, and explosive rather than just big. The diet that accompanied this training was equally rigorous, requiring precise timing of nutrients and strict adherence to macros to ensure he was building muscle while staying lean enough to show definition. When he transitioned to playing Eric Killmonger in Black Panther, he had to adjust his training to achieve an even more imposing presence on screen. The transformation required adding significant muscle mass while maintaining the athletic functionality he'd built for Creed. Jordan has spoken about how the process taught him discipline and showed him that consistency matters more than intensity. Showing up day after day, even when exhausted or unmotivated, was what ultimately produced results. His sculpted physique in both films became iconic, inspiring countless fans to pursue their own fitness goals. What made his transformation particularly impressive was that he achieved it naturally, without the pharmaceutical assistance that some action stars rely on, proving that with enough dedication and the right support system, dramatic physical change is possible. Lizzo's misunderstood health journey. Lizzo's body transformation sparked intense debate online, with many people accusing her of abandoning the body positivity movement she'd championed for years. But the truth behind her change was far more nuanced than critics understood. The singer revealed that she began working out primarily for her mental health, not to change her appearance. Exercise helped her manage anxiety and depression, giving her endorphins that balanced her mental state so she didn't feel ashamed or disgusted when looking in the mirror. She incorporated strength training, cardio sessions, and daily sauna use into her routine, while also modifying her diet by cutting out sugary Starbucks drinks, full-fat sodas, and potato chips. Lizzo reintroduced animal protein to her previously vegan diet, with the help of a chef who prepared nutritious meals. Despite losing weight, she made it clear that even at the end of her weight loss journey, she would still be considered morbidly obese according to BMI standards, and people would still call her derogatory names online. But that didn't matter to her. What mattered was that she felt happy and healthy. In a conversation with Andy Cohen in 2025, Lizzo pushed back against claims that she was no longer body positive, explaining that the body positivity movement was created by marginalized groups who were told they shouldn't exist because of their size, disability, or identity. Her weight loss didn't mean she'd abandoned those principles. It meant she was exercising her right to make choices about her own body. She emphasized that the movement was about bucking against society, telling her she shouldn't wear leotards or like how she looks, not about staying a certain size. Lizzo's journey illustrated how complicated it can be to navigate personal health goals while being seen as a representative for a movement, and how people often project their own fears and beliefs onto celebrities' bodies without understanding the full story. Gabourey Sidibé's secret surgery and self-love. Gabourey Sidibé kept her weight loss surgery a secret from the public when she went under the knife in May of 2016, but eventually opened up about losing 150 pounds in her memoir, "This Is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare." The precious star was motivated to have laparoscopic bariatric surgery after being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, along with her older brother. She admitted that she truly didn't want to worry about all the effects that come with diabetes, genuinely worrying all the time about losing her toes or suffering other complications. Sidibé had tried for more than a decade to lose weight naturally before opting for surgery, and she was clear that the procedure wasn't the easy way out, or cheating. Her surgeon explained they would cut her stomach in half to limit her hunger and capacity to eat, and that her brain chemistry would change to make her want to eat healthier. But surgery alone wasn't enough. CDB completely transformed her lifestyle by changing her eating habits and working out with a personal trainer 3 to 4 times a week. When she wasn't with her trainer, she would swim or ride a tricycle around her neighborhood and the Empire Set during lunch breaks, staying as active as possible. She cut out soda completely and focused on eating lean proteins and vegetables. What made Sidibé's journey particularly powerful was her honesty about the emotional and mental work required. She admitted that even after surgery, she still obsessed about eating, weight, and her body just as much as before. But she learned to trust the process and have faith over fear. She dealt with depression, anxiety, and bulimia through therapy, working through years of negative self-image and learning to love herself. In interviews, she emphasized that she didn't get surgery to be beautiful. She did it so she could walk around comfortably in heels, do a cartwheel, and not be in pain every time she walked upstairs. 10 months after her procedure, she celebrated being under 200 pounds for the first time since she was 17, sharing her joy on social media to inspire others who were on similar journeys. Missy Elliott's hidden health battle. Missy Elliott's weight loss surprised fans because many didn't know about the serious health condition driving it. In 2008, the Get Your Freak On rapper was diagnosed with Graves' disease, an autoimmune disorder that causes an overproduction of thyroid hormones. Weight loss is one of the primary symptoms of this condition, which meant Missy's changing appearance was initially beyond her control. Rather than letting the disease dictate her health, she took charge by making intentional lifestyle changes to support her body. She began eating better and exercising more, turning what could have been a purely negative situation into an opportunity to improve her overall wellness. Missy has been open about the challenges of living with Graves' disease, including the fatigue and other symptoms that can make daily life difficult. But her transformation wasn't just about managing an illness. It was about reclaiming her health and energy so she could continue creating the music her fans loved. The rapper's journey highlighted an important truth that often gets overlooked in celebrity transformation stories. Sometimes visible changes are the result of invisible health battles that the public knows nothing about. Missy's willingness to eventually discuss her diagnosis helped raise awareness about Graves' disease and showed fans that weight loss isn't always intentional or celebratory. Her story served as a reminder to avoid making assumptions about why someone's body has changed, because the reasons can be complex and deeply personal. Anthony Anderson's 20-year commitment. Anthony Anderson has been transparent about always being what he calls husky, but his weight became a serious health concern when he was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic over 20 years ago. The diagnosis forced him to confront the reality that his weight wasn't just about appearance. It was directly impacting his longevity and quality of life. The Blackish star made a drastic change to his health when he was cast in Law and Order, using the role as motivation to finally prioritize wellness. He describes his diet as vegan-ish, indicating flexibility while still focusing on plant-based nutrition most of the time. Exercise became a non-negotiable part of his routine, something he committed to regardless of his filming schedule or other obligations. Anderson's transformation wasn't dramatic or quick. It was a slow, steady commitment to healthier choices sustained over 2 decades. This approach proved more effective than crash diets or extreme measures because it was built on habits he could maintain for life. He's been open about the challenges of staying committed when traveling for work or during stressful periods when old eating patterns try to resurface. But his diagnosis continues to serve as motivation, reminding him that managing his diabetes requires ongoing attention to what he eats and how much he moves. Anderson's journey demonstrates that transformation doesn't have to be fast or flashy to be successful. Sometimes the most impressive changes are the ones that happen gradually, building sustainable health rather than dramatic before and after photos. His 2-decade commitment shows that real change comes from treating health as a lifelong priority rather than a temporary project. Monique's 80-pound determination. Monique shocked fans in 2013 when she revealed she'd lost over 80 pounds through what she called putting in the work and not giving up. The Oscar-winning comedian was determined to prove that transformation was possible without surgery, pre-packaged foods, or celebrity spokespeople claiming it was easy. In a 2018 video shared on Instagram, she celebrated weighing under 200 pounds for the first time since she was 17 years old. Monique wanted to let people know that reaching health goals was possible, that we can do it, and that we can get there, but only through genuine effort and dedication. She credited diet, exercise, and the support of her family with helping her along the way, emphasizing that having a strong support system made the difficult days manageable. What made Monique's approach particularly admirable was her refusal to use shortcuts or quick fixes. She rejected the idea that weight loss required buying special products or following a celebrity-endorsed program. Instead, she focused on the fundamentals, eating better, moving more, and staying consistent even when progress felt slow. Her transparency about the hard work involved stood in stark contrast to the polished, edited transformation stories that flood social media. Monique didn't pretend it was easy or glamorous. She acknowledged the struggle while celebrating the victories. These days, she tries to pay it forward by inspiring her fans along their weight loss journeys with videos and motivational messages on social media. She shares both successes and setbacks, showing that transformation is rarely a straight line from start to finish. Her authenticity has made her a powerful voice for people who are tired of unrealistic expectations and are looking for honest guidance on how to make lasting changes. Jonathan Majors' bodybuilder bulk. Jonathan Majors was already in tremendous shape for his roles in Ant-Man and Creed 3, but he took his physique to an entirely different level for the film Magazine Dreams. The actor portrayed Killian Maddox, an aspiring bodybuilder consumed by his pursuit of muscle and recognition, a role that required Majors to add even more mass to his already impressive frame. According to reports, he allegedly ate 6,100 calories per day to gain the weight needed for the role, a staggering amount of food that required constant eating throughout the day. Even professional bodybuilder Mike O'Hearn, who also appeared in the film, was impressed with the physique Majors achieved. The transformation required not just eating massive quantities of food, but training with the intensity and focus of an actual bodybuilder. Majors worked with trainers who understood the sport, learning proper form and technique to build muscle in the specific patterns that competitive bodybuilders develop. The film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2023 and received tremendous praise, with critics noting that Majors' physical transformation added authenticity and power to his performance. There was even early talk of Oscar nominations for both the film and Majors' portrayal. However, the movie was shelved following Majors' legal troubles, and it currently has no release date, meaning that his incredible physical work may never be seen by a wide audience. The situation highlighted the unpredictable nature of the entertainment industry, where months of grueling preparation can be rendered invisible by circumstances outside the artist's control. Majors' commitment to the role demonstrated the lengths actors will go to embody their characters, transforming not just their appearance, but their entire lifestyle for the duration of filming. Adele's controversial diet debate. When Adele revealed her dramatic weight loss in 2020, the internet erupted with speculation about how she achieved it. Early reports claimed she followed the Food diet, a trendy eating plan that includes foods rich in sirtuins like kale, buckwheat, green tea, and even red wine and chocolate. The diet's creators promoted it as a way to activate fat-burning genes while still enjoying some indulgent foods, which made it appealing to many people looking for a less restrictive approach. Media outlets ran with this story, and the Food diet became one of the most Googled diets of the year. But in a 2021 interview with British Vogue, Adele set the record straight. She hadn't followed the Food diet at all. When asked directly, she responded with a firm no, adding that she also hadn't done intermittent fasting, despite earlier reports. Instead, Adele revealed that her transformation came from working out 2 or 3 times a day with a rigorous exercise regimen. She focused on strength training in the morning, cardio at night, and activities like hiking or boxing during the day. Her workout routine was so intense and time-consuming that she joked she barely had time to eat, saying if anything, she ate more than she used to because she worked out so hard. This revelation challenged the narrative that her weight loss was primarily diet-based and highlighted how misinformation can spread rapidly in celebrity transformation stories. Adele emphasized that her decision to exercise intensely wasn't about losing weight, but about managing her anxiety and taking care of her mental health. The physical changes were a side effect of prioritizing her emotional well-being, not the primary goal. Her story illustrated how the public and media often create their own narratives about celebrities' bodies, filling in gaps with speculation that may have little connection to reality. Jordine Sparks's gradual 50-pound shift. American Idol winner Jordine Sparks lost 50 pounds over 18 months by taking what she called baby steps toward better health. Unlike dramatic crash diets or extreme makeovers, her transformation was built on small, sustainable changes that added up over time. The journey began in 2010 when Sparks got really sick, which made her realize that at 24 years old, she should be in the prime of her life rather than struggling with health issues. She started by simply walking with her cousin every day, an activity that required no gym membership or special equipment. During this initial phase, she also worked on changing her mindset about food, asking herself whether she was really hungry or just eating because something looked good. These seemingly simple adjustments helped her lose the first 15 pounds over 4 months. Once she built that foundation, Sparks added strength training with a personal trainer, doing exercises that built muscle and boosted her metabolism. She didn't beat herself up if she couldn't do a sit-up or pull-up. She and her trainer would just move on to the next exercise and keep building gradually. This phase helped her drop another 15 pounds in 6 months. For the final 20 pounds, which took 8 months to lose, Sparks discovered Sensazao, a form of Zumba that combined her love pabu of Savs, dance with effective cardio. She burned 900 calories an hour, doing something she genuinely enjoyed, which made it feel less like work and more like fun. She also adopted the practice of avoiding carbs after 5 p.m. and eating clean, whole foods as much as possible. What made Sparks' approach so effective was that she never felt like she was suffering or depriving herself. She found exercises she enjoyed and made food choices that felt sustainable rather than restrictive. Years later, she maintains her weight by eating smaller meals throughout the day, actually eating 2 separate lunches to avoid feeling hungry between meals. Her transformation proved that patience and consistency often work better than dramatic, unsustainable changes that can't be maintained long-term. Whoopi Goldberg's medication transparency. Whoopi Goldberg surprised fans when she revealed on The Kelly Clarkson Show in 2024 that she'd lost almost 2 people worth of weight, jokingly referring to her dramatic transformation. The View co-host explained that she weighed 300 pounds at her heaviest before deciding to make a change. Unlike some celebrities who are vague about their methods, Whoopi was refreshingly honest about how she achieved her weight loss. She admitted that she was doing that wonderful shot that works for folks who need some help, referring to weight loss medications like Ozempic or similar GLP-1 drugs. Her openness about using medication helped normalize pharmaceutical assistance for weight loss, especially for people struggling with obesity-related health issues. Whoopi's transparency stood in contrast to other celebrities who lost weight using similar medications but weren't forthcoming about it, leading to unrealistic expectations for fans trying to achieve similar results through diet and exercise alone. By speaking openly about her choice, Whoopi contributed to a broader conversation about the tools available for managing weight, and whether there should be shame attached to using them. She made it clear that the medication was something she needed for her health, not a shortcut or an easy way out. The actress emphasized that she felt better and healthier after the weight loss, which was ultimately what mattered most. Her willingness to discuss her journey publicly helped reduce stigma and encouraged more honest conversations about weight management in a culture that often judges people for the methods they choose. Timbaland's Summer Body Reveal music producer Timbaland shocked fans when he posted photos on Instagram showing off his weight loss and newly defined muscles, flexing and urging his followers to work on their health. The photo generated massive response from celebrities and fans alike, with people commenting on how inspiring his transformation was. Andre Harrell responded by telling him he was inspiring and to keep going, while Carrie Hilson and Genuine also posted enthusiastic support. Timbaland captioned the picture as "Tasha's work in progress," emphasizing that transformation is ongoing rather than a finished product. He encouraged his followers to stay committed, stay focused, and continue to diet, showing that even as he achieved visible results, he wasn't treating it as a destination, but rather a lifestyle change. What made Timbaland's transformation particularly notable was that he was open about it being hard work rather than something that happened easily or quickly. The producer's commitment to sharing his journey on social media helped motivate other people who were working toward their own health goals, showing that success is possible at any age or stage of life. His transparency about the ongoing nature of the work, calling it a work in progress even after achieving significant results, was refreshing in a culture that often presents transformation as a beginning and end rather than a continuous commitment.